Welcome to Count the Bucket. Another week of basketball with you guys. How's everybody doing? Our guy Michael should be here shortly, dealing with some internet issues, but he should definitely be here in a few. But today we got a special guest, Corbin Ford, covering the Mercury, also a big-time Laker fan, also host of the Roundball Ramble, covering all them. Yeah, a little bit. It's a tongue twister a little bit. Covering all things in the NBA, WNBA. Also recently talked a little bit about the draft a few months ago. So, again, just, how's it doing, bro? How you doing? Thank you for being on and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going on.
Hey, I appreciate it, both of you. Thank you. Like, seriously, love it. Like you said, just big basketball fan, NBA, WNBA, Big Three, and it's kind of weird, like big time Lakers fan, living in Arizona, from Brooklyn, New York. Like, it's like all over. So, but yeah, it's the game for me. I have a type. If you a shot chucker, like you just about getting buckets, defense is optional, like you my guy. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be like, I'm the LA Fitness type player in my head. So
that's the coach anybody gonna want to play for.
I'm not even gonna pretend. You have someone like I'm just trying to watch development. And yeah, like as a full like focused basketball fan, all of that intrigues me. But I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I love a crisp bounce pass. Nah, you ISO over two people off the dribble, step back long two. Like that's what gets me amped. So
okay. Yeah, that's definitely that New York. That's definitely that New York style for sure.
Yeah, man. We say you got to go at it. Yeah. So, but that's a little about myself. Like you said, Roundball Ramble, which confused me when I got it, but it wasn't taken already. It's hard, y'all. I'm sure y'all know to like find basketball related podcast names that haven't been taken. My first thought was like the ever creative pick and roll. Like how many times has been done? So Roundball Ramble, I'm like, okay, like Roundball Rock, that one song, the NBC song, and Rambling. I'm like, that's clever. All it does confuse me.
Oh, that is clever.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All it do is confuse me half the time, but you know what? It works, and it allows me to have like an open-ended, I guess, platform like y'all to kind of talk NBA, WNBA, Big Three. I didn't want to be like pigeonholed in one specific topic. Not that was an issue for me, but just because, hey, I meet you up, in the street, we're having a good conversation, come on my podcast, let's talk about it. And that's kind of what I wanted to be for like hoops. So this is really dope to be with other folks doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, man. Again, thanks again for pulling up, man. Nick, how you doing, bro? How's your weekend? How's your week?
I'm doing great, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little under the weather. I'm not even gonna lie about it, but I'm still here, man. I mean, I definitely wanted to hop on the pod. I'm just excited to get into a lot of these conversations because I feel like we're gonna have some good conversations coming up.
Yes, sir. Let's get right to it. Big talk of the weekend, obviously in the WNBA, and Corbin and Nick's field the work right here, talking about the Phoenix Mercury, Brittany Griner, sentenced to 9 years and 9.5 years in Russia because of the drug charges. I'll start with you, Corbin. What's your thoughts on the sentence, and how do you see this thing playing out?
I mean, it's really unfortunate, this entire situation, with the PHNX Mercury show. We've been covering it, of course, and we have the great Aaliyah Baines, who from a legal perspective really has like her finger to the pulse on that.
Shout out to Aaliyah.
Yes. I have judgment on her rap taste, but I love like her action, like her expertise is amazing across the board. But when it comes to the Brittany Griner situation, unfortunately, like it was unfortunate, and it's something that knowing from Aaliyah and just doing some own independent research, like how the Russia like court system is and how, in a way it's corrupt. I don't think there's really any kind of way to sugarcoat it. It's sad that it's gotten to this point that 9 years of something put out there for as little a bit of cannabis oil that she even had, and all of the particulars of that situation. But it also touches to me on so many bigger issues. One, the miscarriage of justice, right, in Russia. Fine. Two, the fact that WNBA star Brittany Griner, like in general, has to go out to Russia in the first place to support her career, as because of the lack of pay she's getting on the W side, to have to supplement that in that way. Three, the fact that, it's gotten to a point where the support is amazing and you get it from the NBA, all levels of sports, all levels of fandom, but the toxicity of others as well across all lines, whether, we're making it political or who really cares. Like, bottom line is someone who is unlawfully detained. If you have a heart on any of that, and I think that's for anybody, that's something that appeals to you. That's something for me. I'm sure you guys are aware, as others, like innocent people who are in prison at any stretch of time for either crimes they didn't commit or issues of that sort. It's a lot. So, for Brittany Griner especially, we feel for her, obviously, hope and pray she gets home safely. In a way, thank you to Ali. It actually was brought out to me that with her actually being sentenced, now the U.S. and Russia can actually go into, negotiations for a swap, which sounds so weird talking about a trade in actual legal, actual terms with, WNBA player, but bringing her back to, the U.S. in exchange for a Russian prisoner and a prisoner swap is something that I guess Russia is open to doing. So there is at least some hope that a resolution could happen sooner than later, but it's just been horrible all around,
No, I mean, 100%, honestly, man. I mean, just like the day when they announced the sentencing, man, I was just stuck all day. I didn't really know exactly what to say. I didn't really have a reaction. It's just unfortunate that, the entire situation. So I definitely feel for Brittany Griner. I definitely feel for her family. We've seen her wife, on several interviews, across TV, speaking on her perspective of the situation. And it's just so crazy to know that, Brittany hasn't had the opportunity to actually really speak with her family. It's just been letters sent back and forth. So I know that's just a really terrible situation as well. But the crazy thing is that the one thing. Oh yeah, shout out to Josh.
Shout out Josh always.
100%. But the one thing that I realized, because I think it was right before they announced the sentencing, there was a small video. It was a minute long, and it was Brittany Griner basically talking, taking responsibility for what happened. The one thing that I realized is that her spirit isn't really low. If I want to say, her spirits at least from my perspective, her spirits are still very high. So that's a good sign as well, especially for Brittany Griner, who has dealt with mental health issues in the past and everything. So it's just, yeah. I mean, it's just an unfortunate situation all around. But hopefully, I don't want to get too political, but I do hope that the president and Russia can somehow come to an agreement where they can make a quality trade and then just bring Brittany Griner home.
Again, thank you guys for the comments. That's pulling up for this discussion. Yeah, it's definitely a sensitive one for sure. Yeah, the 9 years is it's insane. It's insane for sure. And then it's just it's Russia, man. I mean,
it's a lot.
It's different. It's different than
very different.
And it's hard to talk about it because it's not hard to talk about just from Brittany Griner's unique perspective, unique situation, but it's hard to take that and not lump it in with other situations and okay, what about X person? In prison now, in the U.S. for cannabis in this year and that. And it's listen, in my book, all of it's wrong. You know what I mean? All of it, that's ridiculous. And I'm not, but the problem is I don't even want to make it about that when it's about Brittany Griner specifically. And then we could talk about X, Y, Z person as well in those moments. Because, miscarriage of justice, injustice is injustice to me. It don't really matter, okay, this person or that person, it shouldn't be a case at all. And you're right, it's scarier, that it's in a totally foreign country. People are okay, what, she shouldn't have brought it with her X, Y, and the other. Listen, all of that, there's a place for the discourse. I'm not arguing with that or anything, but in the moment of 9 years, that's just that's just to me, taking that fact that y'all saying is one thing, but also saying, okay, well, that can lean into 9 years of this. I can't, the math ain't mathing on that for me.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, doing nearly a decade for something like that is just kind of ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
It is. It's difficult. It's difficult because, again, when you're going overseas, going to these different countries, their laws, the things that they have put in place are not the same. Like the United States, and like you said, even in the United States, some of the laws in different states are completely different depending on the charges and whatnot. So, I think, man, I wouldn't go to Russia to be hooping. I know that obviously the pay situation over here in the WNBA is obviously not enough, and that's why these athletes feel like they need to go over there, continue to do what they love and get paid for it. But I would. There's no way I'd be going over there because especially with everything that's transpired. Not even this year with the war and just in general. There's everything that they've been about from a philosophical standpoint, ideology standpoint. But it's very difficult situation. Hopefully things get figured out. I mean, they said they're trying to make a trade for the arms dealer that we have over here, and it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, they call him like the merchant of weapons or something like that, merchant of death. So that's something that they're nicknaming him. So doing negotiations with that country within itself is a hassle. So it's just I think it's a lesson learned for everybody, really. Just trying to understand, where you're going, what type of things, what type of laws and things to put in place, and even though again, we may feel different about what the charge is, we also got to be aware of what that law is over there and make the right decision. Because for me, I take my freedom over, weed or cannabis oil, even though it wasn't a lot, and even though that, again, her situation is completely different. But me personally, I would take my freedom every day of the week. So I think it's just a lesson learned for all parties involved, and hopefully it gets figured out, because again, 9 years is definitely insane.
Yeah, 100%. I wanted to ask you this, Corbin. So, with you guys covering the Mercury, obviously, you guys basically get the whole spiel and everything. And, the Mercury, for the most part, have had a pretty much up and down season. We know that there's been chemistry issues with the team, but how much has this situation with Brittany Griner, from the outside looking at, how much has it really been affecting this team overall?
Oh, I mean, it's been the one, I don't want to say cloud in a negative context even for Griner, but just the emotional turmoil of that has been almost a major storyline surrounding this Mercury team. And we knew this going in, myself, Aaliyah, Mallory, Aya, our amazing group of PHNX Mercury, we were talking about this from the very beginning. This is kind of a big deal, and it has been. I mean, you've had tempers flare up multiple times. Remember a couple months ago, the kind of big sideline beef between, Diana Taurasi and Skylar Diggins-Smith, right?
Saw that.
And then you had the drama with the brief tenure of one Tina Charles, with the contract divorce, the first of the season with her, and how maybe some of that played directly into it from a play style perspective, whether she was going to play a different role alongside Griner than she ended up playing, or whatever the case may be. But the fact that the team isn't whole from a physical perspective, as a unit, from a mental, spiritual perspective, as a team, they know that they're not 100%. So, and they're constantly, having her in her obviously their hearts and their thoughts, but also talking about it all the time while competing, shorthanded, again and again, all season long. So it's been a lot. New coach, it's a lot of stuff, and I think that it's been really weighing heavily on the team, and that's why even looking at them now, at 13-18, I there's some I guess thoughts on how they could be better, and how from a coaching perspective, and changes here and there. But I think, given everything that they've dealt with, that this is great for the Mercury, just because they've been able to overcome all of this, or still kind of ongoing, kind of figure this out. But yeah, to say that it's been something they've been dealing with that's been heavy on the team's collective heart, I think that's the understatement of the year.
Right. And the only reason why I wanted to ask that was because, obviously the day of the sentencing, the Mercury ended up playing the Connecticut Sun, which they ended up going to lose that game. And I just remember Skylar Diggins-Smith ended up in the postgame interview basically saying that nobody even wanted to play that game. So you could obviously tell that, their hearts was obviously their hearts and their mind were basically, in another state of mind. And a lot of people forget, last year, in my opinion, Brittany Griner probably had her best season last year, when the Mercury ended up going to the finals. I know that a lot of people may think otherwise because, especially with the Mercury winning the title in 2014. But in my opinion, last year was Brittany Griner's best individual season, just her being able to be an X factor on both ends of the floor. So that's why I just look at it it's just an unfortunate situation for her to go from that to now being in this situation a year later.
Oh, absolutely. And like Josh in the comments just mentioned, every loss, you think about that at some point in the thought process. Every win isn't as great as that. And you said it, Nick, especially given she was talking, Brittany specifically talking about how she had, notably gotten better from mental health issues in the past, that last season. How her play, on the court was MVP caliber. She was one of the biggest, if not the biggest reason why the Mercury were able to make that miraculous run to the finals,
right.
Playing through her at an MVP level, and her being in a good place both on the court and off. So you put it perfectly, Nick. It's unfortunate, and like we've all said, it's just been a sad situation altogether, and hoping that, when she comes back, that she's also in as best a place as she can be, in hopes of continuing to get better, because this whole entire ordeal, just from any perspective you choose, is obviously taxing.
Definitely, man. We completely agree. I completely agree with you, brother. We got Michael here. What's going on, man?
What's up, Mike?
Boys, let me just tell you, it's been a rough one. Sorry, I had a little bit of an echo. Corbin, nice to meet you. Hi, I'm
Nice to
Michael.
meet you.
Sorry for the inconvenience earlier. Just a little heads up of what's going on with me right now. We had a storm come through. I don't know if y'all have seen it in some news national. I know we've made it. Southeast Kentucky has been hit with some flooding. It's not been hitting me, but some of the storms that's hit here, a lot of places have been flooded. I want to say there's actually still over 50 people missing, so it's been very bad. But obviously what I'm dealing with is nothing compared to what the house has been lost, and our condolence for all the families that's going on with that. Just want to say that first. But apparently lightning has struck my house this weekend, and it's busted my modem or my router, so I have no internet at home. So that's why my background looks a little different. So Sunday nights I go to church. We played ball. We quit about 8:30. I ran home, grabbed all my stuff, came back up to the church. And now I can't get my church internet to work. So I've got everything set over there. Couldn't get it lined up. And I actually just hacked onto one of our computers here at the church because we also got a Christian school here. So the computer I'm using on totally different, but I'm loving the screen. It is huge. But so I had some echo going on there. I can't get my AirPods to connect, but just bear with me. Hopefully we get this going. I got the volume down way low. But I'm here, and that's half the battle. So glad to be here. Sorry, guys.
The commitment is there. The commitment is there. I mean, we definitely appreciate you for the commitment and everything. We understand that it's a very crazy situation, but we're glad you're here.
Exactly. Glad you're here, brother. Yeah, again, prayers up to everybody over there in the Kentucky area, definitely with the flood and the lightning that's going on there, bro, for sure, man.
I actually think the president's going to be over, well, not in Harlem where I live, but like 30, 40 minutes away, possibly tomorrow, maybe this week. So, I mean, it's kind of super big what's going on. What's crazy is we're seeing some stuff on Facebook where Tide, of course, the Tide brand, they actually have a whole pretty much like a tractor trailer, if you will, an 18-wheeler that is coming over that is actually has all kinds of washer and dryers connected to it. So it's actually pretty cool.
Okay. This is Josh. It sounds like it's been a full battle, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the church of all places, all praises. Like, there you go.
Hey, let me tell you, I was balling today too. I mean, just got to throw that in as well.
All right. Yo, speaking of balling, we're gonna get right into again, one of the greatest players ever, one of the most popular teams ever. It's just when he went there, when LeBron went there in 2018, it was a perfect marriage because of popularity and between the Lakers and LeBron. And we know, Corbin, you're a big time Laker fan, so we want to have you on and talk about your team. They went 33-49 last year. Obviously a disappointing year. Expected
it.
Yeah, Mike is a little closet Laker hater a little bit.
Absolutely, it ain't even
more of a LeBron hater.
Oh, LeBron hater. A little bit of both, but disappointing season. AD gets hurt for the majority of the year. LeBron individually had a great year. Again, breaking records, which he's going to continue to do as long as he keeps playing at this level. Averaging 30. The big move, Russell Westbrook coming in via trade. Kuzma, KCP gone. Montrezl Harrell as well. They go to Washington. Russ comes in. Obviously, there's going to be a grace period of whether or not how that was going to mesh. But it just never really was able to get it going because of injuries and rotations with Frank Vogel, who is now no longer with the team. They bring in Darvin Ham, championship assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks. So Corbin, what's your thoughts on last year's Laker team, and how do you see this playing out for the 2022-23 season? I see you already shaking your head.
Last year, man, was a year of, I don't even know. I remember being in Vegas last year and talking to some, people I was just meeting, and I was like, hey, like, this Laker team's going to be okay. Like, Russell Westbrook, it was weird because I've always been a Russell Westbrook fan. Well, at least the last, since MVP season. And, Leah, all right, there we are.
Leah.
What's up? And I'm like, I've always been a Russell Westbrook fan and a Lakers fan. It's been easy for me to separate the two because I can root for Russ with all my heart, and when he loses in the first round, whatever, fine. Now I can go, that's not true. Okay, see, this is what, I'm sorry. Aaliyah be coming up in here. We be arguing about Jack Harlow. And I just cannot stand the man. Like, the hate that Mike has for LeBron, that's me for Jack Harlow. Like, his raps are whack. They make no sense. Like,
the last album stuck, though, so I'm on your side this round.
Thank you. And Aaliyah is, like, the biggest Jack Harlow fan ever. I don't understand it. I thought she was, this woman is very, very smart, but somehow Jack Harlow like is on your must listen. I don't get it, but that's not the point. All right, so going back, like I thought that Russell Westbrook would be an issue because of his style of play and the fact that he's been on at the time 3 different teams and had not changed. Like I don't understand what people thought Russ was going to change. Like he's going to be who he's going to be, and you take that or you don't. But it is what it is. So we went to the Lakers. I was like, I don't know if I like that because LeBron is very much the same way. You know what I mean? AD, you have all these shooters but no defenders. I just was like, hey, maybe it could work just from sheer star level talent. And I think that was the issue. There wasn't a lot of them on the floor. LeBron missed a chunk of time. AD missed a lot of time. And Westbrook did not play like a star. So all of a sudden, you have a Lakers team that doesn't have the very strength that we all thought we could count on. And, you know, it was a disjointed year. Frank Vogel having to go through so much heat, you know, because when he benched Russell or started him, whatever, there was always a story. Russ by no means helped that situation. There was a different assembly line of rotating role players that Vogel was frankly trying to plug in to fill the gaps that you can't fill in for a LeBron-less or AD-less team. And, you know, at the end of the day, 33 and 49, like, this is what you end up with. I remember, you know, being in Arizona, being here, and I was at a bar with my friend, and we watching the Lakers play the Suns, and if the Suns beat the Lakers, like, that mathematically ended the Lakers' playoff hopes, even though we already knew that was probably a thing. I remember sitting there going, it's okay, we're going to win this game, get a little bit of a run. And I was like, you know what, Corbin, like, get off the Kool-Aid. Like, it's not going to happen. And sure enough, you know, if they fell apart and here we are now. So, if anything, I think last year's Lakers team really opened my eyes to, I guess, the delusion I had about, you know, Rob Pelinka in charge of the Lakers and the roster's been throwing out, the tinkering always does, and how it's okay, they'll still be a championship contending team because they have LeBron and AD. And maybe that's not the case.
What's your thoughts on some of the pickups? Lonnie Walker, GTA, Damon Jones. Not names to get hype about, but you need quality role players, especially around those top guys that you guys have. What were some of your thoughts on those pickups?
Well, I mean, looking at the Lakers last year, you know, it was all about getting younger. They had one of the oldest teams last season. A lot of guys there, you know, Trevor Ariza, you know, whether it was, of course, Carmelo Anthony, Avery Bradley out the scrap heap somewhere, Kent Bazemore we just talked about. Like, all these players who were in their, like, mid to late 30s that the Lakers were relying upon to play significant minutes in roles of need, right? So going into this free agency was, okay, 2 things. Get younger and hopefully, you know, some shooting is still there, right? Because they didn't really get a lot of that. And somehow the Lakers definitely checked off one box, right? Between Lonnie Walker, Troy Brown, Jones, Toscano Anderson, Thomas Bryant. I think the oldest any of them are is 27. Like, that's great. You know what I mean? There's some untapped potential, probably especially in Troy Brown. Damian Jones, I don't think the Lakers should let go the first time 2 years ago. He's definitely improved in Sacramento, even displayed something of a 3-point shot, you know, once in a while. Thomas Bryant, another former Laker that should never have been let go.
That's a good pickup.
There you go, exactly.
It's another guy, too. He could space the floor as well before he got hurt. Yeah,
exactly. Troy Brown, the idea of a 3-and-D with maybe a little bit of playmaking is intriguing. And Lonnie Walker, I mean, the idea of him is probably better than the actual player, especially for the full, you know, taxpayer mid-level. But, like, the idea of basically replacing Malik Monk in that, like, you know, shooting guard that can heat up in a hurry type player, which, again, I don't think that was met because Lonnie Walker is historically just a much worse shooter. But in volume, in being able to, you know, create offense, the hope is there. And Josh, yeah, I love Lonnie Walker. I don't know about the fit there, but ultimately, I would say it's been a mixed bag, CJ. Like, you get some players that are a decent fit in terms of how they look and how they develop. But as of right now, the roster as constructed, if these are your big moves around a soon-to-be 38 LeBron James and the AD who, you know, we're still trying to rely on consistently since 2020, there's still a lot more questions than answers.
So right now, the way the team is set up, where do you see the Lakers in the West?
I've been asking myself that question for a minute now. I look at the NBA standings, right, from last season, and that has been like the biggest barometer to me. Like, you look at the moves that the Lakers have made, right, over what teams do they leapfrog? Obviously, let's take out the Jazz, right? Trading Rudy Gobert, they're more toward the bottom. Let's take out the Rockets, the Thunder. Those 2 teams are a given, right? The Spurs, same
Spurs,
thing.
yeah.
They're out there too. So now you still have the Suns, the
Trailblazers too.
Yeah, exactly. The Trailblazers are interesting to me. I don't even know, man. Like the Trailblazers are in that cusp where I'm like, you have the Suns, the Grizzlies, the Warriors just won the whole dang thing. The Mavs, the Nuggets, the Wolves got better. The Pelicans got a Zion healthy. The Clippers are going to get Kawhi healthy. All those teams are there. Then you got the Kings who just improved a little bit, and the Blazers who also sort of improved a little bit. Those teams aren't playing to lose. And then you got the Lakers. So where do you put the Lakers? I have them more in that Kings Blazers area than I do, the Grizzlies, Warriors, Suns echelon. But I don't even have the Lakers in the Mavericks, Timberwolves, Pelicans tier. Like they're in that third tier, just below the lottery team. I just don't. I mean, if you get a full healthy LeBron and AD, okay, that might get you, among, the 4th, 5th seed. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it right now. And you're asking for a lot of these guys to play roles that they played in part, Juan Toscano Anderson, defensively, a guy who can, conceivably switch a number of positions, has a little bit, I think he's a little bit more in playmaking than he's been able to show, but he was buried in the Warriors rotation last year, right? Lonnie Walker, love what he's, the idea of Lonnie Walker, but we've seen him. The Spurs had a chance to bring him in and just be like, nah, we good. Like, we've had 4 years to see the guy. He is what he is. Like, every podcast and, article I've read or listened to has said, he is what he is, which, okay, great. Troy Brown Jr., he's been around a minute, right? Same thing. Jones and Bryant, great pickups, but they are what they are. Like, none of these guys you look at and you go, okay, that guy right there, we're going to the top. And then you have Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, guys we're bringing back from last year. I don't want to be too pessimistic. I'm an optimistic person, y'all. I tell y'all. And as a Laker fan, I have my purple and gold glasses all the time. But I just don't see it, especially when compared to these other teams that have already proven it.
I want to ask you this because my headset, so I'm totally engaged now. I had the volume so low I could barely hear what was going on. So now I've got it blasted. I'm old. I'm 36 years old, so I only got these suckers in my ear so I can hear stuff. But I heard you talk a little bit about the Pelicans, and I know Nick hates.
Oh my God, we are talking about the Lakers, bro. We're talking about the Lakers, man.
I'm bringing it here. Who do you think? Because I want to come with an unbiased opinion here. Do you think the Pelicans finishes higher than the Lakers? Because I think big time. Now, Nick, I think he may think they're a little bit closer to the Lakers. I think the Pelicans are going to be up maybe.
When did I say that?
No, we said we said a little bit of context. We live in the context. We said top 5. We think the Pelicans gonna be top 5 in the West.
Okay, I definitely disagree with that. I don't think they'll be top 5.
That's what we were disagreeing with.
CJ, quit remember everything.
I mean, it's all on document. It's all recorded.
But yes, I do.
Watches this stuff. You're good.
But yes, I do think that the Pelicans will probably be better than the Lakers. I will attest to that.
Well, I'm asking him, not you.
Well, I'm giving my opinion real quick.
For the record, Nick's just putting it out there. I get it. Research purposes. Okay. To answer your question, Michael, listen, I hate to say it. I think it comes down like a healthy Zion for them. Okay. Because as constructed, this team, yeah, you're right. Like Brandon Ingram, been great. CJ McCollum with a full season, you definitely like it. I think they still have some backcourt questions. Yep. You look at, Herb Jones, the way he's been able to play. Jonas Valanciunas did work last season. That Pelican squad was legit, but they scrapped, they fought. I don't think they're like a powerhouse just yet. No, I think that having a full year of CJ will be helpful, and Brandon Ingram's always going to cook. But I think they still have some questions in the backcourt alongside who's, playing alongside CJ moving forward right now, how they want to get that 5 figured out. Of course, they're reintegrating Zion. Maybe that has some hiccups as well. We're talking about a guy who, a lot of paint touches, a lot of scoring around the basket, a lot of ball in his hands, alongside Ingram, alongside CJ. Surely there got to be some sorting out of how that's going to work out too. It's going to be hard to point Zion when CJ likes to cook with the ball a little bit, and Ingram, and then we got to figure out the defensive side of the ball in that as well. Because you only have one Jose Alvarado and one Herb Jones. So and those rest of the guys got to figure it out as well and step up their game. So
defense doesn't matter until playoffs.
Defense don't matter until playoffs.
Well, you know what? I get you for the most part. I think you're right, but listen, we set up for the Lakers and we didn't make the playoffs. So
that's
true.
That's true.
We're like, it's all good. We can outscore them, and then we did, and then we lost. But aside from that, I get you. I think that the Pelicans definitely have a higher ceiling, definitely for the top 5 seed. And do I see them better than the Lakers? Listen, I'm not going to come out here live recorded and say the Pelicans will finish better than the Lakers, but I'm not gonna say it. If that
Okay.
like,
See,
yeah,
I'm actually going to say, and I may get slack for this, but I think the Pelicans will be better than the Lakers, even if they don't have Zion the full season.
whoa.
I really do.
Let's get it.
Simmer down, Michael. Simmer down.
It's
Like,
all record.
LeBron and AD though. Like LeBron and AD, I'm not saying it's like on paper, but I'm just saying like if you have those two, CJ and Ingram, going to take that.
Okay,
down?
well, let me at least say this first. If AD is unhealthy like he has been, like, I mean, I don't expect him to play all the games. Like, he's going to get hurt because he flies at like a loose cannon for rebounds, for dunks and stuff like that. Try to block where he slings his body on the rim so many times. I mean, he stays hurt. He's Anthony day to day for a reason. So he's going to be hurt.
Zion's in the same conversation, to be honest.
But I said without Zion. So
yeah, you said without Zion, I think they do have a better.
I think Anthony Davis is probably may play 3/4 of the season, and that's going to be good, right? Like, I mean, do we expect him to play more at this point in his career?
I think AD plays at least 55 this year.
55 games or 55%, just to make sure we're on the same page.
55 games,
because both of them could go legit answers here.
Or actually, I'll say 60.
And I'm saying
with this, I can see. I mean, if they want to win, they got to be at least 65.
He's got 60. To be playing if he's going to win. Like,
of course.
That's just it. And I also think with Westbrook, and they've got to change this dramatically. Like we've always said many times on our show, that Westbrook probably needs to be leading the second string. And if that doesn't ever change, if there's always going to be that headstrong between all three of them there, or all four with your head coach, I just don't think it's ever going to happen with this Laker lineup right now. Now, talent-wise, they should be the number one team. I mean, the Lakers, as far as talent with Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double of our 2000s, Anthony Davis, who was the Giannis before Giannis came up, and LeBron is –
Wait, what?
You don't think Anthony Davis was like the Giannis before Giannis came up?
I wouldn't say it was like Giannis. No,
so there was a healthy discussion. There was a healthy discussion between those two. Definitely 3 years ago.
CJ.
Definitely.
But I'm not gonna say AD was like a Giannis before Giannis though.
I mean, Giannis was called a freak for a reason. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Like,
but
I
AD
get what you're
was
saying,
the
Michael.
Giannis,
Yes.
but then Giannis went way up here. So AD was the Giannis. So
AD had that defensive game changer identity going on. They had some people getting real late, like real hot with the takes on how big a defensive game changer was in the defense side of the ball. And you're right. I think Giannis came and took it to a whole nother stratosphere.
Yes.
But I will agree with you. The word wasn't there for AD, I guess. The unicorn label wasn't being thrown around, but it was something otherworldly. Yeah.
So I mean, LeBron, AD, and Westbrook, you hear the names. Yes, they are obviously talented. But what we saw last year, it didn't look good. And, of course, they weren't healthy. Like, how many air balls did Westbrook shoot? I think he hit more air balls than he did make. Like, nothing but
goodness. Yeah. Listen, the amount of times he confidently stepped up to 15-foot breaks, it astounded me. Like, I mean, but
I can do that for $1,000. You know?
I don't know, man. Wow. I mean, over the Pelicans in general, though, I don't quite see that. I think it's in play. I definitely think it's in play. But maybe that's just because I'm obviously not as high on the Lakers' current roster construction. That's barring a move. You know, if a trade with the Pacers is done, if a trade with the Nets are done, obviously I'm like, nah, Michael, you crazy. But as currently constructed, you know, I'm looking at this team and it's like, let me ask y'all real quick, like, what do y'all still see as the biggest issues with this team?
Westbrook.
Yeah,
Westbrook plays a role, but last year defensively they just weren't that good of a team. And the one thing that I'll say is that, you know, like going back to Westbrook, I think the thing about it is that his inability to shoot alongside playing off the ball is like one of the biggest concerns with the team, because at the end of the day, LeBron's going to have the ball in his hands regardless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because LeBron is obviously the best player on the team. So Westbrook, in previous years of his career, he's been more ball dominant. So now this is the first time where he's not able to really have the ball in his hands. So I feel like, you know, he's not able to adjust to that well. So I'm not saying that he can't go into this year, but it's going to be a big sacrifice.
Now, I want to say this. Sorry, CJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I say Westbrook so aggressively and quick without even hesitating there as far as the problem, I don't want to say that Westbrook is not good when I say that, okay? Like Westbrook on a different team orchestrated around Westbrook would be a complete different team. Obviously, he would lead that team. I will say I don't think Westbrook will ever win a championship because it just can't come from that kind of caliber player, in my opinion. Now, Westbrook with these two guys, there's just not enough spread on the offense. That's what I kind of mean. And Westbrook's the weaker of the two or of the three. Y'all agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
Of course. I just think for Russ, it's just really similar to what Nick just said. It's about sacrifice. And last year when they acquired him, I said the same thing. I was like, he's not gonna get the same amount of shots that he got in Oklahoma City, Houston, and DC. Just not, because he's a third option.
Rebounds.
He's a third. I mean, yeah, not even from the triple double standpoint, just from just making the impact. Because like you said, he's not going to have the ball in his hands. I see Russell Westbrook fans. They're like, the reason why he didn't excel was because he didn't have the basketball in his hands. I mean, of course he's not, because LeBron's a better playmaker. LeBron's a better playmaker, and it just does better.
Better scorer.
Yeah, but yeah, of course, and it's his team. I mean, of course. Yeah. Why would LeBron give that up for Westbrook? Westbrook's trying to come there, and they already won a championship without him. So. Russ has this is a key, and it's the same thing for Harden too. I've said this ad nauseum here on the show. This is him and Harden. They're really in that same boat where they accomplish everything except the most important thing, really, when it comes to team sports, which is winning a championship. So both guys got to sacrifice. Russ, I saw the video of him working out, and then obviously people was clowning him with the missed jump shot, and then you got the dunk right after. People, getting on him because of that. He's gonna continue to get slandered, but he has to work on his shot. I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully, he's in the lab this offseason working on that. And even that, free throws. Like he was a really good early in his career. He was at least mid-80s. Free throw percent shooter, and then they just kept dropping.
Free throw rule really threw him off. Like for the first 2 years, I understood it and was like, man, that's messed up. Like you let Giannis sit on the sideline for dang near 12 minutes, but yet you can't let Westbrook walk to center court and back. You know what I mean? Like it's about the same time. And so seeing the direct crater of his free throw percentage correspond with that, I'm like, that's ridiculous. But at this point, you've been a professional athlete. I get it. You've been doing this a certain way all your life. And Russ definitely strikes us all as a creature of extreme habit. However, it has been a number of seasons. Like you said, it's been dipping steadily since then. At some point in the offseason, you got to make a new routine. You got to figure out something different. You got to workshop it. You got the time, to make it different. And I agree with you. That's an issue. And then Josh, AD was biggest liability, couldn't get on the floor. I think Westbrook at least contributes. I agree that the hustle energy aspect, Josh, it's where the hustle and energy is applied that I think the issue is. Because it's not applied on the defensive end. You know what I mean? It's not applied cutting off ball. It's applied on ball, which is great when he's going 110 miles per hour, but then he probably should slow it down a little bit because then he barrels out of bounds or throws a pass out into the sideline. So it's really just like controlled energy. And I think if that's my one thing I'm optimistic about is like, I hope that's what Darvin Ham will, if Westbrook's still on the roster, kind of get through to him. Like, let's take that energy and that burst and that ferocity and everything and just focus it, which no coaches have been able to do before.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
But also, Westbrook has not been in this situation before. Westbrook's been a star. You take his words because he is who he is. This year, from the top down, everybody's been coming at him. His home crowd, like it must hurt him as like just a person. The you playing in front of your family, your friends, and you getting booed, like consistently. You getting groans of no when you wide open in the corner shooting a shot. Like hearing no.
That's embarrassing, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
so like, yes, exactly. And like that's what I'm saying. So on the one hand, you're right. No coach has reached him like that. But at the same time, I don't think he's ever been this slandered. He's always had a healthy support of haters. I get it, this and that. But universally, I'm a big Westbrook fan. I'm like, nah, fam. Like it was rough. Like So
hey, man, it changes what you put on that purple and gold, man.
When you put on that purple and gold, and then when you become a teammate of LeBron. Because he has his own section of fans, like a team, and then you have just again.
And I ain't one.
And then you just have your, and then you have your own, of course, people that haven't liked Westbrook since he was with the Thunder and felt like that's why him and KD didn't work out. Yeah, it's a big off season for him, man.
Where are the Westbrook fans?
I'm a fan of Russ. But it's just like it's tough to defend. It's tough to defend him when he's not.
But like. there were like people like praising him, fans, you know,
So-
like Westbrook jersey like crazy. Like, where did those fans go? Because
They-
you don't see them anywhere.
You see them in the private DMs and comments on Twitter now.
Gotcha.
Like we've gone
Gotcha.
underground. All right. Like
Gotcha.
honestly, like we can't show our faces and be laughed at to our face, you know, or be swinging on
Gotcha.
site with the disrespect. But you know, now we go underground. You know, so
Okay.
it kind of is what it is. Like, I'm quiet now. Like I see the disrespect and stuff. I think I saw a tweet from Nick a while back, and I was just like, I might have liked it or just retweeted it, like one of those passive aggressive. Well, I'll keep that on tab. But I ain't saying nothing. I'm not gonna get flamed out here. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, it was my tweet.
I think it was. I gotta
Oh,
remember, Nick,
geez.
because
Oh,
you're the one I
geez.
see the most of. I gotta find. Like I just got on CJ, and I think I got you, Michael, too. But Nick, I see you a lot on the timeline, and so
Listen, that's
I'm
all I
always,
see.
Yeah, and so I'm always liking tweets, but there's some tweets I'm like, woo, like hold up now. If I comment, that won't go away, and if I delete it, I look fugazi. So like, I'm just gonna retweet it. Or something like that. There was some tweet, I forgot what it was, and you were keeping it real. But as a Westbrook fan, that hurt me. Like you can't just.
Oh,
say
you know what?
that
I might remember. I think it was like at the beginning of the year because I ain't gonna lie, like there was so many Laker fans that was like commenting under it. I think it was like early November. I was like, you know what, this Westbrook LeBron experience probably will not work, and honestly, like Laker fans were all like going down my comments. I gotta go back and see if I can find that tweet. But I was like, yo,
take
like
you a year to go back. You tweet like 50 tweets a day.
You
No,
are
probably
right.
more. Probably more.
Sometimes.
Honestly. Probably more.
Obviously, I'm not hip. Okay, look at me. So I don't know what the Twitter
No, Michael,
world
it's
really
okay.
goes on.
I get on Twitter like 18 times a day.
You gotta realize, bro.
I probably interact with a quarter of that, huh?
Okay,
You gotta
sometimes
realize, bro,
I'll
like
go through my scroll. I'll be scrolling down. And I'm like, am I on Nick's page or something? Because I'm like, Nick.
you gotta realize,
there's
man. Like
somebody else. Okay.
I got two podcasts.
This is
I
facts
got
right here,
I got
man.
I got a lot of articles that I dropped.
Nick, stay tweeting.
So it's like
I've never seen you advertise any of your stuff on your tweets.
Big
though.
caps on the stage, man.
Yeah.
Yo, look
Like,
at my Twitter.
I haven't. I mean, like,
Dude,
you be like
he-
retweet
yeah.
something here, like every now and then, but it's
But
like,
you know
all the time,
Man.
man.
I don't know how to come at girls unless we're on Messenger or something.
I'm gonna tell y'all this though. So like I've had my Twitter. I've had my Twitter since 2011.
Facebook
So I've
Dating
had
is what I'm on, yo. So
I've had my Twitter since 2011. So that's 11 years. I don't even have 100K tweets yet. There's literally like Twitter
There's
accounts
no way.
that were made like last year.
I
They
need to
have like
know.
200,000.
You can actually see how many tweets you've made.
Yeah, like just go on your profile.
Yeah, it's right at the top. Yeah.
Hold up, I want to go.
Yeah,
how
you're
many have you
active,
actually
man.
made?
You should get a sponsorship with Jack, man. Jack, get up, Jack, and see if you can get a
you be
get a
tweeting way
deal.
too- I'll be like, dang, man, like, whew, it's the most. I mean, I go over here going, I need to tweet more. I got to promote myself.
Okay.
And I forget, you know, and then the work
Where'd
happens
I
9
go
to
at?
5. And okay, we doing this in real life.
Well, now he could probably see it on his account. I don't think you can see it on.
I got a legacy to keep alive, man. Y'all ain't finna tear
I
me
get you.
down.
Nah, keep
Listen,
doing your
hey,
thing,
hey,
bro.
hey, nah. As a Russ fan, I'm feeling the same way, Nick.
Yeah, it's definitely it's gonna be a struggle for us. I really hope he figures it out because it'd be a great story. It'd be a great story if he does.
Really
And
would.
great
Absolutely.
championship players.
Yep.
Most
They
improved.
play.
Can
They
he
play
get
off
most
the ball.
improved?
Nah, I don't think he ever got most improved.
No, I'm saying if he comes back this year,
Yeah, he
and-
could. Yeah, he could.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the precedent for that, yeah, it's possible.
Definitely.
Not sure
Yeah,
it's
It'll be crazy.
you got to play.
MVP to
Wait, did
crap
Ja get
to
most improved?
Most improved.
Ja got it. Yeah, Ja got
Hey
it.
CJ, I'm about to
Yeah.
send you this tweet right now. I'm about to send you this old tweet that I did about the Westbrook LeBron thing. Hang on.
All right, so yeah,
I mean, how'd you find it that fast?
All I did was just like tap in my at name and then just put Westbrook LeBron.
Yeah, they finally added the search joint to
All right, that's good because I got to delete my tweet that boldly said that Russell
But, like-
34%.
But honestly, like once you get to CJ, pull it up because like you can see like Laker fans are just hounding me.
I'm about to. Yeah, I got you right now.
Mostly
might have
Russ
been,
fans.
that might have been the one. Let me see. Like, yeah, because I see so much on Twitter that infuriate me. And I'm like, if I comment or say something snappy, like my memory sucks, so I'll forget about it. And then 3 years later, it'll come back on me. Or I'll be like, hey, like actually that happened one time. Like I met somebody that I guess we had beefed with on Twitter before. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. My name's Corbin. He's like, yeah, I know you. You blocked each other. I was like, I did? Like I didn't remember who it was. I remember what happened. I remember the interaction. I was like, are you sure?
Okay,
And I'm all cheery, and the rest of it, I'm sitting going, what happened? So that's why I don't do it no more.
Again, I'm old. I know that. You guys are a little bit younger than me. How come y'all block people?
So that's the
Like-
thing.
Sometimes you got harassers though, so it's like you gotta do it.
Okay, I work at Tractor Supply, whoop, whoop, and I've got a lot of cashiers that are there. Okay, some of them are pretty much like my daughters now, and they're like, okay, listen, my boyfriend, he's been real hateful. This other guy's hollering at me, and like he came at me and it was all this, and like so I just blocked him. I'm like, why do you just block him? Just say like, leave me alone. Like, what's the block?
I mean,
some people won't leave you alone.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I had one person like bring me a coffee at my job, but I never told her where I worked, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you blocked. Like I can't have you."
Well, I mean,
that's crazy.
That's creeping a little bit.
That's crazy. yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I was Facebook, but point being, you just block people. I've only blocked one person on Twitter, and it was if you block me, like I'm gonna block you too. Like I'm not gonna like it's petty, but it is what it is. Like
it's petty.
You're gonna leave me now? I left you first, or I'm leaving you too.
Look at this spicy thread.
Saying, Nick. Yeah, look what you were saying.
They lost 2 games together in our 5-0 last 5.
And you replied to everybody. You had the energy. Wow. They just
That's all he
together.
does.
Yeah,
like any sort of player.
Nick is unemployed. He's just sitting at home doing this right now.
I'm unemployed, dude. I have a full 24-hour schedule. Twitter is about 15 of that.
I mean, shout out to Steven Gillespie. Steven was like giving some time. Now, mind you, I wish that
Steven's my guy, man.
I wish we were giving some more time, but whatever. You know, yeah, you got.
But hey, here's the thing. This tweet was in November. Now we're in August of 2022. The Lakers didn't make the playoffs.
Listen, you were right.
You need to tweet that Steven right there and said, "Is it time up yet?"
Listen, until Westbrook is traded,
go to the quote tweets. I guarantee you they're probably way worse.
All right, let me see. It really gets spicy.
I don't think I did. I think this was the one I just kind of like let be.
Everybody's like, "Whoa."
Oh,
they won't let. Oh, wow. They won't let you pull it up.
Let me see.
It's been something weird about that I saw on Twitter happening.
Interesting. Must have been crazy, bro. I don't know. Comments must have been wild.
We might not need to see some of this on
but
this.
But you had some comments. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
It's more than Westbrook.
It's more than Westbrook missing 4 rotational. Yeah,
that's true.
Rotational 4.
And AD line, all the Saints playing the 5 full time. That's also true. Like, listen, Devin, shout out to Devin from November 8th. I'm playing like everything he said though.
Oh
shit, we lost him.
But
there he goes. Okay.
Hello? Huh?
You froze for a second.
Uh-oh. Hello, scare. Now, ultimately, that
Westbrook shot.
Wow. You ain't lying. But, like, nah, it's yeah. I don't know, man.
I love shows like this, boys.
It's been a mess. Anthony said, never I blocks him and I want all the smoke. All right. I get you.
And then last question from me about the Lakers, man. You talked about it a little bit with Darvin Ham, man. You said you want to see if he could be the guy to get to Westbrook and make him be the one that sacrifice and channel that effort towards defense. And it's crazy too. I looked it up. He was actually Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Russ. It was crazy. It's crazy. And then Darvin Ham, obviously coming from played for the Detroit Pistons back in the early 2000s, so he has that defensive identity, and then being with the Bucks as well. That's one of their key focuses. It was on defense. Yeah. So how do you see him coming in, rookie head coach, first time getting this opportunity, and it's the Lakers, and you're coaching LeBron, all this pressure, and you got Westbrook too on top of that. Well, what are some of the pros and some of the things that you see that he could be a not weakness, but what he could work on to be that upper echelon coach?
I'll start with like the weaknesses, just kind of being, like you said, a first time coach with the pressures of LA. Like, it's always different. You know what I mean? You look at Frank Vogel, he handled it admirably, considering, first time coach in that big a market. Before that, he was in Indiana and Orlando. Not exactly the murderer's row, but also the pandemic, with a LeBron team that is always a pressure cooker in and of itself with the media attention. Like, that's a lot, So, he did that well, and now Darvin is also going to have to experience that same type of, experience out there, Other people on the reflection. Yeah, that's true, Josh. People crazy out there.
Crazy.
And so, like, that's, I think, a lot of what Darvin's going to have to kind of deal with, along with the different personalities you mentioned. Now we have a Russ who's gone through a year that was the year from the third, it was from hell for him, whether or not he thinks it's his fault or not, from the fan experience, to the Westbrook stuff, to players, openly mocking him, to, being derided by the fan base. So he's back right now, right? You have LeBron, 38, contract extensions on the table. He don't seem willing to pick that up right now. Not excited about possible moves happening right there. Like, what's going to happen with that? AD come back from yet another, injury-riddled year. That's a third. All these role players trying to prove themselves on contracts that are 1 year or, team option. You have a lot to deal with, and you have to get them all in the same boat. So that's kind of the issue I think that Darvin Ham is going to face primarily. That being said, man, the dude, just the way he talks, like from his first press conference to, the interviews he's been given and everything since, like the dude has this aura about him that just looks like it's going to be okay. Like it's going to be all right. You know what I mean? He's like level-headed with it, very passionate, but he keeps it real. The facts over feelings had me because you hear it all the time, but I haven't really heard it from the coach in that type of way. Like, nah, this is what it is, and we got to put this first and foremost because this is what we are trying to accomplish. It's like a professional, but very like legit and objective approach that I really think is going to be different for this team. Because let's face it, like Vogel was kind of soft-spoken, on a team with all the personalities that he had last year. Vogel wasn't going to be the rah-rah, like get in line and this and that. Nah, it didn't happen, and ultimately, unfortunately, he paid the price for that. But I think Darvin Ham, is going to be the guy that's going to challenge you and want all the smoke in that way and hold you accountable. And that might be a refreshing twist for a Lakers team that, when's the last time they had a coach like that? Like what? Phil Jackson? I don't know. Byron Scott counts. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Brown, they had D'Antoni too. D'Antoni was not a good fit.
That's what I mean. And then Byron Scott was like sniping behind the reporters. We're talking about a coach who's going to demand your respect and hold you accountable straight up. You know what I mean? Right. Frank Vogel, unfortunately, he should have, but didn't exactly demand the respect of that. D'Antoni, Byron Scott, Luke Walton. Am I missing a coach? I don't think so. Like all these coaches already have been kind of just, fair weather coaches in terms of like personality directly to players, especially the kind of LeBron and Russell Westbrook. Like that's the upper echelon of personality, if you will. So yeah, I'm really hopeful that we see Darvin Ham put a positive impact on this team by being direct and addressing and having clear standards in what he wants and trying to do the most to bring that to the table.
Completely agree. I think, I'm with you. I think he has that identity for sure. First thing he did was came and had an interview, had sat down and had dinner with Westbrook, because obviously that's the big story, even more so than LeBron. And then lastly, before we move on to some top 10 point guard rankings, you talked about it just a little bit right there, and talking about him, LeBron's extension. He just had talks with Rob Pelinka later this last week. Reportedly, they were productive. That was, according to reports, this is going to be 2 years, $97 million for Bron. Do you see that? This is a question for everybody. I'll start Corbin. Everybody could go around. Do you see that being the last 2 years of his career? That'll put him to 40, and then.
So what is Bronny right now? Is Bronny a senior?
I think he's a junior. I think he's a junior.
I think he's entering his senior year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I think it is a senior year.
I think he's finished his junior year. Okay, yeah.
So he has a senior year now. He'll probably play 1 year in college, and then I'm guessing he'll be one and done. I can see that possibly, being his last year.
That would be 3 years, though.
Is it?
Yeah, because it'll be an extension, so it'll be this year, then the 2 years.
And then the 2 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. Take that back. So I can see that, being his last few years, that last contract extension.
I could definitely see it as well. I think that injuries are going to be ultimately what kind of takes LeBron down, unfortunately. And I don't think he's going to try to be anything less than 100%, or anything less than the peak of his powers. We're not going to definitely see like a transition to role player LeBron. Like, I don't think it's going to be a thing, I mean, that's just how I'm looking at it. At least, like, if not the best player, the top two. And for like, he's already been that right now. So I definitely don't see that being a thing. But injuries, I mean, they take everyone, I mean, Father Time's undefeated. I think that's the way that is knocking on LeBron's door. I can see him playing 2 more years. I don't know if I see the 41-year-old LeBron. He got too much going on, and I don't know. He doesn't seem like that. Like we're gonna win a championship at all costs. He wants to play a year with his son, and he got a lot more things to look forward to. So I see probably 2 more years, 40, nice, neat, even, call it a wrap. There's not gonna be like a weird like. Actually, I don't know. LeBron corny enough. I could see a weird like Kareem Swan song type year, but I don't.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's just we're getting close to the end. It's crazy.
wild.
It's wild, man. You've seen this guy play for, it's about to be
My
two
entire life.
decades at least in the NBA, and then including high school, about 23 years. So he really kicked off sophomore year at St. Mary. So
Yeah.
this is my pretty much my entire life too. It's been crazy. It's been wild. And could be 2 years away from that. What is Skip? What these guys? What is Michael gonna hate on after in 2024, man? What you gonna be talking? Luka's gonna be the new focal point.
No, man, they ain't no way.
Not gonna be
It's,
Luka.
it's certainly not gonna be Booker. We know that's a fact.
Oh yeah, it can't be
It's
Booker.
not-
Hey, don't you be talking bad about Bubble Booker. Now, okay?
Listen, I wish I could right now, but
All right, yeah. Let's get into.
Well, hey, can I talk about LeBron?
Oh,
bit?
You want to dive in? Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead, man. Do your thing, brother.
I think it's going to come down to possibly this. It's obviously 3 years. Yes, we know. I don't know if he signs that 1 year. I think it's going to be weird because that's going to be putting Bronny have to be drafted by the Lakers. I just don't know how that's going to go. Obviously, LeBron can make it happen, do something.
Conspiracy theories, baby. You never know.
Right. So I don't know if LeBron does like a maybe 1 or 2, like we were talking about, left, and then that last year, hey,
it's an opt out. It could be opt out. Yeah.
Wherever
Right,
Bronny goes, that's where I'm just going to sign with as a free agent. Now, with that, I don't think he's going to end his career as a Laker because he's wanting to play with his son. As a father, my 5-year-old son was up here at the church while I was playing, and it was so cool in between games, letting him try to shoot and passing the ball with him some. So I can totally respect that, and I'll say, LeBron, that's awesome. I wish I could say that I could play with my son in the NBA, obviously. But LeBron is so talented. I mean, why couldn't he go on down and play like the 4 or 5? Not really much of a role player, but I mean, even as he declines some, like he's better than McGee down low. Like, I mean, he really could play.
Has he even declined to y'all?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, not at all.
If like as he
defensively a little bit. Defensively, yeah.
I think he's defensively.
He's
slow. I think
he
just
doesn't give any effort on that end.
No, he just coasts now. He just coasts now.
I think, and also he does a good enough job, I think, of like not giving any effort on that end, and then giving just enough effort on the end that you almost miss that, like laterally, especially, like the dude has slow. Do you know what I mean? Like, used to be quicker guards, you would be surprised at how, like, wow, like LeBron swallowed up like Derrick Rose or other guards that would like blow by him, and now they just blow by him. You're like, oh, he's 37, or oh, this and that. And it's like,
no, they don't say how old he is. They say how many years he's been.
How many years he's played? My bad. It was year 18 or whatever. Yeah. You said it, but like he has, I think, in some ways, like gotten like from a strength standpoint, absolutely not. But from like a speed standpoint, like nah, it's been there. And I think offensively, I mean, he's overpowering people is a thing. But if you really like, I think in basketball, I did an amazing video on this. I don't know if y'all been able to check it out. They did like a thing on LeBron a year. Yeah, shout out to them. Really great guys. Cody O'Day works for them. Love Cody. What's up? Like really good group of folks. But they did a really good video that shows like just subtly and how quick he gets off the ground and how quickly he comes back to the ground. Like in little bits and pieces that he's shown it. And watching, like, I watch every Laker game like twice. So I see a little bit more, I think, in terms of like, oh, man, like LeBron, back when I didn't like LeBron, would have totally slammed that in. You know what I mean? But the fact that, like you said, like he's been able to hide it so well, like the dude was leading the league in scoring up until about 4 weeks left in the season.
Yep.
Like that's wild. That's wild. And that just shows you like it's not like they're just letting you get those points. It's not like when he do that same little step back ball fake move to the 3 that everyone named Mama know is going to do it. You know what I mean? Like he can still do it. So he dropped 56 on the Warriors team that was trying to win that game. So there's some stuff there. Oh,
you good?
Somebody's telling you to get up out of there.
It's time to switch subjects.
New York City, man.
We tired to hear about LeBron. Let's go on over to New York.
late nights in Manhattan, man. You already know.
But that's the thing. Let me just say this on LeBron.
Yeah.
I think 3 years is probably tops that he probably rolls on out, but he really could probably play another 10 years. It's just how he wants to go.
I don't know about 10. 10 is
hyperbole is crazy.
Y'all call me out on. I mean, I'm exaggerating here, guys. Just let me say it.
Okay, all right. Nah, I love that.
5 years. Like, I mean, he could play longer. It's just he won't be up to LeBron's caliber. Like, he will be declining some, but yet he could still be NBA level. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I don't see 5. It's not like Brady where you could just stand in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? And
Because the guard him and he just falls down.
Yeah, he just falls down,
foul.
and then he doesn't play on the other side of the court. So it's different. It's different. I think for Braun, I could definitely see two more years for Braun. Hopefully, he can stay healthy, man, because the records are definitely going to be broken. But yeah, this is something that I want to talk about. Hoops Hype, they dropped their top 25 rankings for each position. It's on their website. You guys can check that out. But NBA Central, they tweeted out that the top 10. They got a lot of discussions on this ranking. We got 1 Luka, 2 Steph Curry, number 3 we got Ja, 4 Trey, 5 Damian Lillard, 6 CP3, 7 Harden, 8 Kyrie Irving, 9 SGA, and 10 Drew Holiday to round out the top 10 point guards entering next season. Nick, on first glance, what's your thoughts on this?
It's not a bad list, if I want to say. I mean, there's some names that I would probably add. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, would you guys consider like De'Aaron Fox flirting in that top 10?
Over who? Who taking that?
I mean, I'm not saying like he is top 10, but like, is he like an honorable mention to y'all?
Yeah, 11, 12. But not.
Corbin disagrees.
I'm sorry, Nick. Nah, I mean, listen. Maybe
Corbin,
2 years ago, yes.
Corbin,
but like,
you're a guest. You don't know this yet, but I am from Kentucky. We can't slander Kentucky players.
Okay, well, Michael. I'm a big Malik Monk fan, so I think that evens out.
Okay, I mean,
right,
just be easy on Fox.
All right, okay, I will. No, Nick, I'm not saying like for me. When I'm saying no, like if somebody like thinks so, I'm not like, oh, you crazy. Like for me personally, nah, he's like somewhere in like 15 to 20.
Okay, how about Darius Garland?
Now that's a little close.
Need to see one more season.
I mean, I will say this: the way he was able to manage working with basically zero shooting, and 3 big men on the court, and still manage to balance the playmaking and scoring that he did, for 1 year, I think he did an amazing job. I could definitely see him floating around the Drew Holiday, who's not really like a few guys on this list that I think are just primary ball handlers or offensive initiators, and less like point guards. Like I just don't look at like Drew Holiday as a point guard in that way. I look at him like a combo guy, and it's like the line of demarcation is really thin, but it's there, I could kind of quibble over, Harden and Irving, both of those guys probably being shooting guards who just need to have the ball in their hands, So, but I like Darius Garland a lot more, for certain. But yeah.
Right, and that's the thing too, is like, what I'm saying, like what are we talking about as far as like point guards? Are we talking about guys that just play that position, or guys who are like initiators, playmakers, or whoever? Like, what I'm saying? Because it's like point guards, they have like different categories to me.
I think all these guys kind of do everything. Again, it's not your traditional like 08 Rondo, like where he wasn't really that
that's
big
what
of a
hurts me
scorer.
because I am old school traditional. Like I look at this list, to me, Chris Paul would be number 1, and Luka wouldn't even be on the point guard because to me he's not point guard, but he's
a point guard. I mean,
he's a point now. Yeah, I mean they got rid of Brunson, DSJ.
Now, right.
They got rid of all the point guards and put him at point. So yeah,
right.
You got to put him there.
But even then, he was really the initiator, honestly, even with Brunson.
Right.
I'd probably put
Steph LeBron on here.
I'd have Steph 1 just because, again, the season that he had last year, and he beat Luka in the Western Conference Finals en route to his 4th championship. So
Steph should be 1. I think we all would agree on that.
Yeah, but I could see why you put Luka there. He's younger. He's going to be in this MVP discussion for the rest of his career. And, based on how he played last year, going from getting knocked out in the first round 2 years in a row to going to the Western Conference Finals, it makes sense. But I just, just from what we saw recently factor, I gotta have Curry number 1. But I think this looks good. Lillard, I mean, didn't have a great year. I was injured with the abdominal injury that he was really struggling with for, he said, a multitude of years, and then finally got the surgery done, and he looks to be healthy. Got the extension, 60 per. What's your thoughts on Lillard, man? At Trailblazers, I know, Corbin, you said they're kind of an interesting team, maybe that third tier type team. Got Jeremy Grant, got some other guys, Josh Hart, really good player. How do you see that playing out in a tough conference?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be kind of the biggest thing for me. I think Dame, he's saying this is the first time he's been healthy in a while. which says a lot if you believe that. He was dropping 60 and been doing this, but I don't think there's no reason to not believe. I'm just saying like that's kind of where I'm at with it. And if you're having like a fully healthy Dame, then like add that to Jeremy Grant, who's a solid player. Of course, you're bringing back some of your core. Of course, the Yusef Nurkic, Anthony Simons. I think there's still question marks. If it's going to be a Dame and Simons backcourt, I don't really see a big difference between that and a Dame CJ backcourt. You know what I mean? Especially on the defensive end. Josh Hart the 3 if you put Jeremy Grant the 4 and Nurkic the 5, right? Shaedon Sharp, going to be a big question on how he plays, how he fits in. Same with Keon Johnson. Younger guys are going to have to step up and play more for this Blazers team. But speaking of Anthony Simons, a lot of the damage he did looking really, really good was without Damian Lillard, without CJ McCollum. So how does he look with both those guys on the court? Is he going to still be able to play the same way he was? Is he going to have to kind of like give a little bit back and have to play your turn, my turn? There's a lot of questions there. Jeremy Grant, we've seen him. He wanted to eat offensively. So he left Denver, went to Detroit. He did, and we saw what happened to the team. Is he able to come back and do a better job merging the two? Between being that guy who's going to be more assertive offensively and also knowing when to, give up a little bit some and be that second, third, possibly fourth offensive option at times. I don't know the answer to any of those questions. So, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And it's like that variance is high. Like, if they click, I could see a top 4, top 5. I don't see why that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, especially with health permitting. But you would also see them being, like I said, that third tier where they're fighting for that playoff spot. They're definitely not one of the worst teams in the NBA, in terms of the Wembanyama sweepstakes, but they're definitely not competing for the top 4, So, yeah, I think it's interesting. But as far as where he's placed in the point guard rankings, I think that's just about solid for Dame.
Since we're talking about Dame, I feel like Dame should be over Young. I almost think Chris Paul should be over Young as well, but I'm not a big Trae Young fan. That's just myself. I know I'm probably on that.
You're a hater, man.
Hey, at least I'm consistent with my hate, okay?
You got CP3 over Dame and
I just think Chris Paul is a most underrated point guard in his whole career.
Underrated now? No, how?
I do because let me back up and say this. At least around where I live, everyone hates on Chris Paul. I've had to defend him with all my buddies in all of our fantasy leagues and stuff. He's not that good. He's not that great. I'm like, everywhere he goes, they do good. They just can't get over the hump at the finals, or not the finals, but.
Not the finals, notably.
I don't know about under. Yeah, see, for your friend saying he's not that good, he's not that great. That's insane. I mean, those are insane takes. But I don't think he's underrated. Especially
maybe not on a national scale, but at least here, right. Trust me, I've had to defend him because he's the most natural point guard that you really have, the most old school style point guard. If you go Rondo with a jump shot, but
right.
Somebody else going to say. What about Marcus Smart? Do you think he should be on this?
No. Oh, no. Please, no.
Asking for discussion on here.
Marcus Smart to me is in that De'Aaron Fox area, actually.
Okay. Well, because, he did just get Defensive Player of the Year. So, are we just judging this offense? I was wanting to see what y'all thought.
He's a combo guard like Drew Holiday.
Right.
And I guess you could say he's more impactful to winning than De'Aaron. But, when I think of point guard, those two do not come up in my first, second, third thinking of point guards. You know what I mean? Right. At least top point guards. My bad. De'Aaron totally is a floor general.
He's in that third tier, definitely. But yeah, they also dropped the top 10 shooting guards as well. Going to pull that up for you guys. Obviously, Booker, 2K23 cover athlete, had a big year.
Overrated.
So this is my thing though. I
thought it was.
What did he say? I didn't hear you.
He said Booker's overrated, man. State your case. Let's hear it.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Let's hear it. We're gonna pull it up. We're gonna pull up the list right now.
So hang on, CJ. Before we go into the shooting guard conversation, I want to this is my whole thing about the 2K cover is that Devin Booker. I'm not mad at it, but my thing about it is that Jokic and Embiid have both been MVP candidates over the past few years, and neither one of them have.
That's why he's on the cover.
Nah.
What did he say?
He's beautiful.
Oh,
okay. I'm not even
not over. Jokic and Embiid have both been MVP candidates for the past few years, and none of them have been a cover.
This year, I would have just said Michael and LeBron. 23. I mean, it writes itself. Come on.
That makes
like,
sense.
It writes itself. I don't even understand where Booker comes in here in this picture, but like, and let me preface it by saying this.
I think MJ is like the legendary edition this year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, but like that, yeah, he is. But I feel like he, like in this case, I feel like he should just be like the main one. Like, let's go 2K11 with it. You know what I mean?
Classic.
But, exactly. But yeah. But like by saying Booker, I'm saying Booker's overrated. Like as a superstar, as a shooting guard, like he clearly is number one. I don't think there's any argument there at all. I just say like look at the guy and like okay, a couple of game winners and like a good record that you can't like alongside him and Chris Paul and like if you're gonna give all the credit to Chris Paul for making teams better, then Devin Booker you're not giving all the credit to. I'm just saying. I know you're not listening, Michael. It's okay. But like also I just don't see like yes, he is the top shooting guard in the NBA. I just feel like we put him up like he was an MVP conversation last year. And I felt like it was MVP consideration because like this is an MVP consideration. But I felt it was MVP consideration because it's almost like LeBron being an MVP consideration the last couple of years. Like it's because LeBron in year 17 doing this and that and the other. And it's like Devin Booker on the Suns and they're the number one team. Okay. And like that's a team effort. Like he is I don't see him like I don't know. He had a stretch where he was playing Booker, where you can say put the team when Chris Paul missed some time with injury, where he put the team on his back and was that guy for them for that stretch of games. But I just haven't seen it. Throw a double team at me, still flummoxed. I'm sorry, Game 7 against the Mavericks showed that. Like I'm just saying, like there's still things that I have issue with when it comes to nominating Booker in that top 10. I think he's like a top 15 player. But as a top 10 shooting guard, like he's number one. I don't think there's an argument there.
Yeah, those are fair criticisms. Yeah, those are fair criticisms.
No, they're not.
Nah,
they're not.
I mean, because
Michael,
you got the bias.
Wait, did he play in Kentucky? Did I miss something?
Yeah,
he didn't play in Kentucky. He didn't play in Kentucky.
Cool. I'm being
Yo, Michael, you know who else they're missing on this list? Michael, they're missing somebody else on this list. Tyler Hero.
Stop.
Another guy. Yeah. You said it. There you go. You said it. Hero should be at least number 7. I'm kidding. But wait, but let's speaking of number 7, we have Dejante Murray as a shooting guard. Are we serious?
That's my thing too.
With the Hawks now because obviously I'm in Trey.
Yeah, but also is Dejante better than CJ McCollum, Tyrese Maxey, and Desmond Bane? Like the guy was an all-star as an injury replacement. McCollum, on his first team that went nowhere. So. Like I mean, as a point guard, maybe I don't know. As a shooting guard, like I don't know, a shooting guard. I feel like a shooting guard's position is much more clearly defined. Like yes, Bradley Beal, C.J. McCollum, Donovan Mitchell. They handle the ball enough to be point guards, but we know that they're shooting guards, right? That's
I agree.
What they are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. They do a fair share of offensive initiation, but we see what that is. Oh yeah, Josh with that point.
Dejante Paolo beat. What happened there?
All right, so Dejante pulled a nice fake on Paolo, like the pass fake, make him look the other way, then threw the ball off the glass and dunked it, and then stared Paolo down, gave him the too short sign, and chucked the ball at him. And it was like, okay, that was kind of aggressive for a Drew League game, whatever. But then Paolo went back after and was like, wow. And he apparently afterwards, Dejante unfollowed Paolo on Instagram. And Paolo's like, why'd you do that? He's like, okay, if that's how it's going to be, fine. But, next time play defense, I'm going to top setting doubles. It just turned to, this random, I don't know. Dejante's been giving me some weird energy since he's been in Atlanta. He acted like he's a 3-time champ. Bruh.
I'm here for it, though.
Yeah, you a playing veteran. You
ain't that guy. Playing veteran.
You ain't that guy to be talking. He been really talking that smoke and this and that and the other. And it's oh, it's our team. I'm just here to win. Nobody ever thought it was your team, Dejante. You have a team. You 11th. No one. It's just even carrying himself. I love the confidence. I'm a confident person myself, but at a certain point, it's dang, bro, chill out a little bit here.
I'm here. I mean, if there was more for if you got a league pass, get ready for that Hawks Magic game because that's going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be on ESPN.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Definitely not. But
NBA TV.
It might be. It might be. It might be.
Players only.
Number one pick. It could be.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
I mean, I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
Magic got some stick, and I've got some bootleg.
Magic got some. They got some okay. They got an all right roster, man. If they could stay healthy and figure it out. I'm not saying they're going far, but if Paolo is,
they can make it a 13.
You know who I would add to this list? I know
it's going to depend on Banchero, bro. If he's really that dude and that can elevate a team, we don't know, man. because they got some hoopers. Fultz, Isaac, Bamba, Carter. Like
the consensus is saying that Fultz could win Most Improved Player, and I'm not mad at that.
Who?
Markelle Fultz.
They got a solid
team.
Solid roster. They got a solid roster for sure, man. It's like the Cavs a little bit last year. Like no one expected the Cavs to do anything.
Amber. Shout out to Amber.
Except Amber. Yeah, Amber was the only one, showing love to Cleveland, and then they came out and did the thing. So
I'm trying to pull Amber with the Pelicans here, guys, but y'all aren't letting me do it too well.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you with New Orleans, but I saw a lot of discussion too about Levine and Jaylen Brown in the thread. I try to pull that down. They were kind of going back and forth. People were saying Levine got hurt. He was playing injured. That's kind of why they were.
Jaylen Brown's been getting too much disrespect from me, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, with the trade and everything.
You can't dribble. Yeah. Sorry, I dribble.
I agree with that, but it's like. I mean, know, man.
It was like that. It was not 2K cheese where if you dribble at somebody like 3 dribbles in a row, you're gonna lose the ball. That was Jaylen Brown for 3 dribbles. Like some of the stuff, I'm like, bro. I mean, listen, I understand you're right. I agree, Nick. Like we gotta give some respect to him. Like he's improved his game. Like if you look at what he was when he first got drafted out of California, what he is now, night and day. And they gotta give some respect on the development. But he deserves all the slander. He literally coughed up the ball. Like if you can't hold on to the ball, why are you taking it? Why are you calling for it in crucial moments? Like you basically just giving turnovers, but
pretty weak.
Aside from that, I agree with you completely, Nick, for sure.
The one guy. Oh yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I bet you would probably say the same thing. Where's Klay Thompson on this list?
Right where he belongs, outside the top 10, my friend.
Yeah, I don't.
I want to hear what Nick on this because.
So I don't disagree with that, unfortunately, because. I don't know. It's like I know the Warriors won last year, but we really didn't get a chance to really see like a full glimpse of Klay. It was basically a year of Klay really trying to get back into himself. So going into this year with him not being top 10 over these guys, I'm not really too mad at it. Like I don't see Klay being better than CJ or Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker or even Anthony Edwards per se. So I'm not mad at it. I just hope that he comes into this year and at least be a better version of himself than last year.
Yeah, next year we'll have Jordan Poole on this list instead of him.
Yeah, if he gets I mean, you got to remember, man, he missed like 900 days, right? with two catastrophic injuries. So, and this is his first offseason where he actually gets to train and not rehab. So, yeah, is he a top 10 shooting guard entering next season? No, but he had some solid games in the finals. He definitely struggled. He didn't have the best moments. There weren't a lot of Game 6 Klay moments that we were accustomed to. It was in a couple series, Memphis and Denver. He had some good games here and there, but he's not top 10. For me, I look at a few guys, some young guys, Maxey, real high on Maxey, man. Definitely one of my favorite players. And
I love Maxey.
He's gonna take that next step. Yeah. I got a lot of guys. They got a lot of talent. This is
Kentucky.
They got a lot of talent, man. I'll give you guys that. And then also Ant. I think Ant by the end of next season,
he's gonna be top 2.
I could see him being top 2, man. I really can. High on Ant again. One of my favorite players. He was talking a little bit. Yeah.
Here's my thing. It's hard to really give them 1 through 10. Like we talk about this all the time. Like we can name 10 players, but to really say 1 through 10, put them in order. Because Ant, I think by the end of the year, yes, I think he will continue to get better and perform. But at the beginning of the year, I feel like he should be almost down a little bit. I feel like Bradley Beal should be way up higher. I believe he's at 6.
I was just about to say that. Josh for the comment here, crazy how Beal got 250. He's not top 5 in his own position. I think Beal. If you were to tell me right now who would I want, either Beal or Levine, I'm gonna take Beal.
Hands down every time.
I'm going Beal as well.
Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown.
Ask you that. Brown and Beal. I'd probably go Beal too, because Beal is actually leading his team. Jaylen Brown's the number 2 option.
Come on, y'all.
Yo, Beal led the league, right? Didn't lead the league in scoring.
I'm gonna take Beal.
This past year, no.
Beal can at least run your offense.
Yeah,
conceivably well. Brown can't dribble. We just talked about that.
But Jaylen Brown defensively is a big thing.
But Beal's not totally a turnstile defensively. Like what are you giving and taking? Because you're right, Nick. Like I definitely give Brown that over Beal, but and Beal's shooting is also slumped. but Beal can actually get you into your sets and offense and be a decoy.
That is true.
Where Brown cannot
Lead.
in that way.
He can lead.
It's close, but I think I would get Beal first. Now that being said, that contract's ridiculous. But that's another story. But Nick, I like that. That's a tight one. Oh, that's interesting.
Listen, we can do stuff all the time.
You said it, Michael. This is fun.
My thing is like
this is fun.
you know who's not on this list, and I do understand because I mean last year he did play mostly the 3. DeMar DeRozan.
The more I say it, the more.
Well, I got him. He's probably small forward. They probably got
like that's the thing.
Because I got Levine.
If he was a 2, he'd be 3.
Come on.
Yeah, he'd be 3.
He would bump Mitchell for me. Because then we're looking at both guys bad.
I'm not mad at that.
But then we're looking at both guys are horrible defensively, but look at what DeMar DeRozan did with the Bulls offensively. You know what I mean?
Am I the only one high on Donovan Mitchell this coming year out of us 4 here?
Playing for that Jazz team?
No. He ain't going to be. Well, he's not going to be on the Jazz team much longer, I don't think.
Future New York Knicks guard Donovan Mitchell? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to a card show on the 20th, and that is my only go is to try to find a Donovan Mitchell card that's already graded because
it's going to be a grill.
I think he is going to be awesome now.
I like Mitchell, but just looking at the past few years, I don't know if he could be your true number 1 option for a playoff team.
That's okay. He's still going to be great.
I mean,
we just talked about Jaylen Brown's number 3. He's not the number 1 option. Zach LaVine, is he the number 1? I mean,
was Booker even the number 1 last year?
I think so.
No,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Paul was number 1.
I don't. I'm personally. I think it was Chris Paul.
I'm saying Booker is number 1 option.
I think Chris Paul had just as much to do with that as Booker did. Chris Paul had just as much to do. If anything, they shared that. That's what I mean. Like Booker, number 1 was the bubble. We saw the 8-0. That was a nice small sample size.
Bubble Booker.
Like after that, Chris Paul came, and we saw the Suns' record just go up. Was that because of Booker's ascendance, or was that the Chris Paul effect? Because if it's a Chris Paul effect, then we can't give it all to Booker.
It was a happy medium.
I think so as well. In which case, that's what I mean. Like the tandem of those two means that it wasn't just one. But that's what I'm saying. Like.
But if they want to get back to the finals, Booker got to insert himself.
Like
absolutely. Yeah, but I think Chris Paul should have actually been in the MVP candidate instead of Devin Booker.
Either way it goes, they both play like crap in Game 7.
Yeah, it's hard to do that when you're afraid to shoot over double teams, but that's just me.
Tough, man. All right, this is a new segment that we do here at the Hard Count. A little bit of trivia.
Michael is excited, man.
Lakers trivia. Corbin, we know you're obviously a big Laker fan.
Hey, before we go to the trivia, I want to ask Corbin real quick. What are your top 5 Lakers all time? Because that was a big debate for us at least like a few months ago.
Like my personal top 5 are like, let me just
your personal top 5.
Because I fell in love with the Lakers thinking Devin George was the best Laker ever.
That's
because of how young I was and he had a really good game and I caught it. I was like, I became a Laker fan because of the purple and gold. I like the colors. And I was like, and Devin George, he's my guy, and we saw that win. But if I was gonna do Kobe, obviously. I mean, that was my entire iteration of it.
As long as Kobe's number 1, I'm good.
Yeah, Kobe was number 1 for me. Okay. You know who I liked watching a lot of 80s basketball? Byron Scott. The dude was that prototypical shooting guard. I like that. Obviously, Magic got to be up there. I just can't have a Ross without Magic. Yikes, this gets hard real quick.
There's
LeBron's up there. That 2020 championship, I had to fight a lot of haters, a lot of Clippers fans.
Michael is not like that.
There. And then number 5. Should I do a personal favorite?
I mean, you've left a lot of Lakers off of this list, but
it's just starting 5. No, it's just
this is his. Yeah.
You know who? Okay, so I shouldn't even do this. He only played. I like Lamar Odom.
There's nothing wrong with that for me.
I like Lamar Odom. Shaq would have been my number 5, but honestly, I thought that Shaq was kind of a cheat code. I felt dirty, like rooting for Shaq with the Lakers because I felt like nobody can stop him.
Look at your team now. You got AD and LeBron.
I never thought of AD as a cheat code, Michael. I'm not gonna lie to you.
AD is not Shaq.
I never thought of LeBron. I never thought of him as a cheat code. And LeBron, I always did, but like LeBron is just older now, and that just gets this sort of. You get that sort of what's that word I'm looking for? like you get like it's more human now. You know what I mean? He has moments,
Right.
but like it's not like it's Miami Heat
Immortal.
LeBron. Yeah, it's immortal. That's what I'm looking for. If it was
Okay.
2014 LeBron, then I feel bad. But like you see Shaq knock over these poor helpless guys, and they getting elbowed and one, and it's like, dang man, like yeah, we did it, but you know what I mean? I don't know. Lamar Odom. You know what? Actually, no, bunk it. You know who I liked? He had the audacity to do this. Andrew Bynum. Andrew Bynum.
Yes,
man. I thought Bynum.
I love Bynum.
Andrew Bynum.
I thought he was going to be good, man.
Eric Fisher was too much at the end. He just jumped around different teams. I didn't like that.
I thought Bynum was going to be that guy. He was 17 and 11, easy.
Yeah.
What about Rick Fox, guys?
Rick Fox was solid.
If you gave me a top 10, Rick Fox would be there.
Smush Parker, man.
Smush Parker, Devin George, Brian
Shout
Cook.
out New York native Smush Parker, man.
Brian Cook will be there for me.
CJ, we know you won Jeremy Lin, right?
Nah, absolutely not.
You're not a fan of him?
I remember thinking Carlos Boozer was going to help us that 2015 year.
God.
2014 year. Yeah, that was a rough year. But anyway,
He was a Laker?
Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Yeah, we got a man to see from the Bulls. And
Roy Hibbert was too.
Yeah, that was a year I'd rather forget. 2016. Right. Thank you.
Sheesh, I forgot about that.
It was Kobe's last year, though.
Kobe's last year's had a who's that? You know what I mean?
Facts. That's a fact. Definitely.
All right, let's go into this trivia.
Let's go into this trivia, man. The reason why I didn't go into the first question because we dived into the first question last week.
Oh yeah, and I already know that one.
Yeah, exactly. I would hope so.
27. No, I'm playing.
All right, so we got number two.
Just so our fans do know, we did this last week. We did like the top 10 questions, and the winner who got the most right was myself. You know, I'm just throwing that out there. So far, I'm winning the first trivia.
Michael got a buzzer beater.
Man, Michael got the buzzer beater. What's the record? You don't got it with you?
Oh, how many we got?
No, yeah. What was your record from last week?
We had me and Nick tied for 7, and you had 5.
All right, cool.
And then the what was it? 0. Who was it? Wilt Chamberlain has not fouled out of any games.
Insane. That was the wild.
That was wild. Like
crazy.
Insane. I knew it.
Averaging like 44 minutes.
He got that one so lucky. Like he was so lucky with that one.
I said 0
because you didn't even know that one. You didn't even know that one.
I was reading about that. And apparently, once he was getting close to 5,000, he would just basically stop playing defense.
Yeah, everyone knows that if you're true NBA fans.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't even feel that heat, and I'm like, geez.
I didn't know that. Nick, can you keep her tally because I don't have a thing here.
I got you.
Okay.
All right, here we got. This is question number 2. Which head coach has won the most championships with the Lakers? We got Phil Jackson, John Cunliffe, Pat Riley, Bill Sharman.
I mean, that's easy, man.
That's easy, man. Mr. How many did you win? 11?
That's
with the
11.
Lakers.
Yeah. Like overall though.
With the Lakers.
Bill won the most, but Pat has the most of the Lakers.
Yeah.
Does he? I don't think so.
That's who I was going to go with because he played for Kentucky in college as well.
Pat
I know Phil got 5.
Phil got 5 with Kobe.
Oh,
overall.
I forgot. You're right. No, Pat won 82.
And Magic won 5 too. So I don't know.
Yeah, Magic won 5, but the first one was with was it with Pat? No, the first one's not with Pat.
It wasn't.
You're right.
Okay, so it's Phil.
It's Phil.
I want this. Really?
Oh, it's Pat.
Wait, what? It was Pat?
Sure.
Wait.
No.
Oh wow.
Okay. Sorry, everyone that's watching.
Yeah,
this.
the mic and.
How many did they win?
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't even think about Kunla. Yeah, because they owned that entire. Yeah.
We're going to cut this.
I knew Sharman only won 1,
so no one sees us miss this.
I mean, listen. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that was the NBL. No, it was the NBA and its predecessor.
Yeah,
that was a trick.
That's a trick one. Yeah. That's definitely a trick one. All right. Which player did the Lakers draft twice? We got Jerry West, the logo, Kobe, Elgin Baylor, Magic Johnson.
I'm gonna assume Elgin.
Same. I feel like it was some military
go with Baylor as
commitment or something.
All right, we all got Elgin Baylor.
Yeah.
That is correct. 14th round.
Oh wow, yeah. Decided to stay in school. Then he came back and Lakers were somehow still there. Funny how that
number
out.
1. Went from the 14th round to the number 1 pick.
Wow, that's cool.
R.I.P. Which Laker was so dominant that he prompted the NBA's induction of the goaltending rule? This should be light. Elgin Baylor, Will Chamberlain, George Mike, and Jerry West. I'm gonna go Chamberlain.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go Wilt.
Yeah, I feel the same.
As well as I.
Michael
That's why
4
I no,
Yep.
yeah, because they won't let you do the zone because of that too. I think.
Yeah.
What?
Right? Okay, then
Is it Mikan?
it must be Mikan. It has to be Mikan.
Wow. One of the pioneers.
The Mikan rule. Oh my God, Corbin.
We do not know about the 50s, man. We gotta get it together.
Yeah.
The Mikan rule. That's
Mikan
and then apparently he doesn't even have his jersey retired by the Lakers. Mikan?
No, I feel like you do.
I thought he did.
No, I don't think so. Because he played some. Where was it?
They played in Minneapolis before they went to the Lakers.
Because we talked about that on the show once.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
played there, they didn't retire his jersey, and I mentioned well they shouldn't count the championships that they had that they brought there too.
Oh, okay. So no, he's not retired by the Lakers because he's a Minneapolis Laker, not a Los Angeles Laker. His number is honored.
It's still the same franchise, man.
But yeah,
like,
exactly,
I mean,
because they count the trophies from those Lakers.
As we should. No,
all right, if y'all don't know number
you
5,
should.
then
I'm messing, Michael. No, you're right. Yeah.
Which Laker once outscored an entire opposing team through the first 3 quarters of play?
All I'm saying
Kobe.
is Magic has some high score. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's obviously Kobe.
It's Wilt. It's Wilt. It's not really Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, shout out Bean, man. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question number 6. Which
Yeah, I
Laker
don't know.
holds the NBA record for block shots in a game?
I do know.
I'm assuming it's
Elmore Smith, 1975. If I remember.
Hold up, Nick's cheating.
Okay.
He's got his phone out over there.
well, I'm taking tally.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking.
Yeah.
Google.
I'm taking tally. you asked me to keep score.
All right, Elmore Smith for Corbin. Anybody else want to? I'm gonna say
I'm gonna say Elmore too because I really don't know.
I'm gonna go Wilt.
I'm gonna go Wilt with you.
All right, let's see what Elmore. You see, he was pretty confident when he said it. So I should have. He was confident.
I felt pretty good about that. one, yeah.
17
It
blocks.
looked like he was holding his breath after he said it, though. So I'm like,
Oh
hold on.
no! I feel about good about that one as I do about number 7.
Like,
All right,
which Laker has is famous for the sky hook?
Kobe.
Kareem, easy.
I'm playing Kareem.
That's what
It's
they
Kareem.
do, right? Kobe. No.
With the hook.
Yeah.
Which Laker earned a reputation for flopping?
It's got to be Derek Fisher. It's got to be Derek Fisher. I don't know why.
Are you serious?
I feel like it is.
I thought it was Vlade.
It's totally Vlad.
It's
Is it Vlade?
It's a 100% Vlad.
Okay, it was Vlade.
100%.
Yeah, I knew that one.
I love how it says he freely admitted to doing so, adding that he usually did it when he felt like the officials had missed some calls and owed him.
Wow.
I love that. Like, you know, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah.
All right, we got which Hall of Famer averaged just 2
It's gotta be
points
Rodman.
per game
Yeah.
for the Lakers.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all gotta give me a hard one, y'all. We gotta do another.
Yeah. Hopefully the next page is more difficult.
yeah, you're right. Oh, good.
These aren't easy.
We've missed 2 or 3 of
I was
them.
gonna say,
Those
these
are
aren't easy.
the 50s. I'm messed up. The 50s my weakness. But
You got Rodman on this one?
Rodman on this easy. Carmelo.
I feel like it's going to be a trick question, but I'm going to go with Rodman because you have to.
Bro.
Because Gary Payton already scored when he was our starting guard that year with Carmelo, and Steve Nash definitely did. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rodman was never a scorer. And the last one on this page, what player did the Lakers acquire prior to the 2018 season? I mean,
They didn't even spell Hardest name right. Hey.
Wow, yeah, what's up with that? Useful trivia. Come on, guys.
Yeah, we already know. Hard
No
spelled wrong, by the way.
All right, page 2. Hopefully we get some more.
Who's winning?
Corbin's beating all of us. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn. Corbin, you can't win. You're the guest.
But I think me and you are tied, Michael. I think, or I might be up by like 1.
Oh, you got to get off the Google page so you can go see your tallies.
Really?
How many NBA championships did the Lakers win during the 1960s? We got 0 or 4.
I think
In
2.
the 60s?
I think 2.
I think
'Cause
0.
The Celtic was it
I'm gonna
0?
I'm gonna say 0.
I'm gonna help you, Nick. The entire
No, Nick already said 2. He said we're tied. He said 2.
Yeah,
he said 2.
But the entire Elgin Baylor run.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he ended up retiring and then they won.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 0. At least I get that. I'll take it.
I'll give y'all that one. I'm not even gonna give myself a point.
They kept losing to Bill Russell, man. R.I.P.
Yep,
Again,
69
R.I.P.
was
to that
close
guy.
to yes, exactly. Legend.
Crazy. Which Laker holds the franchise single season record for assist? Norm Nixon, Jerry West, Kobe, Magic Johnson.
I mean,
say Magic? I mean,
Magic.
Yeah.
I'm waiting till Corbin answers, and then I'm just going to copy and paste.
Wow. That's crazy.
So
Nick,
Magic.
Going Magic?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Magic.
All right. Yeah, that definitely should have been Magic right there.
Yeah.
Which Laker star formerly played for the Harlem Globetrotters?
Wilt.
The Stilt.
Are you sure about that one?
I am sure about that one, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sam.
Who are you going with, Michael?
I'm going to go with Wilt. Yes, I got it right.
Okay.
13 retired by the Globetrotters. That guy was insane. Who was the first Lakers to win the MVP?
Will? I don't know.
Elgin Baylor?
Yep.
Yeah. No?
No? Oh, Will?
What?
I'm going to go with Jabbar after this one.
I did not think I was going to lose that one.
Will?
Wow.
Let's see if it's Will.
It wasn't
Kareem.
Will.
Kareem.
Wow.
Wow.
Isn't the trophy named after him?
Michael was the only one that got a point.
So no one won an MVP before Kareem got there for the Lakers?
I'm assuming Wilt probably won one with Philly. He was
Yeah. No, I thought he would have.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't even a trophy.
Probably wasn't. That's probably why. Which player did the Lakers trade for?
Costas.
The brother.
I mean, we know it's Costas, but definitely Mark.
Yeah, it's a light one. All right.
Costas is a future one. They tell him that, yeah.
I don't know this one.
Which Laker was thrown out of a record 127 games? Vern Dickinson, Rudy LaRusso, Michael Cooper, Kareem.
I'm gonna say Rudy.
I'm going to go with Rudy because that just sounds like somebody that's got a temper.
I know he got in a few fights. I read.
I'm gonna go with
like he's going to stop.
All right, let's see if it's Vern. Let's see if it's Rudy.
I'll go. No.
What?
I'm going. I said Vern. Let's see if it's Vern.
You did. I heard
Yeah, then they got to be Vern. Of course.
Okay.
Wow. See, we don't have
Catching
YouTube
up, man.
for that, man. Like, what's the score?
You can't assume, Michael. You
I
can't
thought I had
assume.
it easy. What's the score right now? What's the score?
You're still. I don't even know how many tallies I got here, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's on Google, boys. I'm telling you.
Google.
Go back to Ask Jeeves if y'all even know what that is.
If that was the case, I'd be winning.
Well,
But I'm not.
Now.
We got
Corbin's ahead by like one.
which Lakers great was nicknamed Zeke from Cabin Creek? Gail Goodrich, James
I'm assuming
Worthy,
Gail.
Jerry West, or the Shaq?
Can I ask
Yeah,
why
I
you're
got
going to
it.
Gail?
It's Jerry.
Is it?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's see if it's Jerry. I got Goodrich.
Yeah. I know it's Jerry.
Really?
Oh wow!
I thought it was such a dope name and wish that was given to Isaiah Thomas.
Because where's Jerry West from with an Appalachian accent? I mean,
He was from West Virginia.
oh really?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
What is the Lakers mascot?
They ain't got one.
Sir, they do not have one.
Hold on.
Warriors, Knicks, and the Nets also do not have a mascot.
Yep, that's dope.
If you just don't click on the name and put the cursor over it,
Oh, it
just
shows
go
it?
over. Yeah, just go over Knicks in there. Don't click it, but just put your cursor or the mouse over it. All right, go over to Washington now.
Yeah, it was doing something weird, but I don't think
It
it
kind of
was.
looked like
It
it showed
was.
the
Like the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
All right.
mhm.
All right, that's good. All right, which player did the Lakers trade after he punched Houston Rockets guard Rudy Tomjanovich during the game?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
Norm Nixon?
Kermit Washington.
Kermit Washington.
Yep. Basically, yep. That did it for him. There's a whole book on that called The Punch.
The Punch.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I need to check that out.
Yeah. John Feinstein writes a lot of sports books. I didn't really like it in terms of like the sports aspect, but from the storytelling part, really interesting.
Okay. And then last one for the Lakers.
I don't know this one either.
Get a couple NBA ones after. The Lakers franchise began with the purchase of what disbanded team? The Rochester Royals, Toledo Jeeps, the Detroit Gems, the Buffalo Bisons.
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bisons.
Royals.
You sound confident, Michael.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I'm gonna go with the Royals.
I honestly feel like I actually am right on this one. I don't know why.
But you don't know.
I remember.
I have no clue, but it just seems right for some reason.
Let's see if it's the Buffalo. Is it the Buffalo Bisons? No, it's not. I remember the Buffalo Braves being the Clippers.
Do you know Corbin?
I'm gonna say it was the Gems. I don't know though.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
I'm guessing here. If I get it, I'll be happy. Whoa!
Wow.
Let's go. Let's go.
1947.
I would have said the Royals, but I knew that they turned to the Kings.
Yeah, they did.
That's right. That's right. Cincinnati Royals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Real fast. Because we definitely.
I am so sorry. I can't believe my Siri actually answered. I didn't mean that. Sorry, guys.
We got a couple. We got a couple of these questions before we wrap it up, guys. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for the next time we go live. So we got what NBA player retired unexpectedly on November 7th, 1991? Magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The announcement.
Yeah.
My screen didn't switch.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm about to say mine didn't either.
What are you doing here?
I was the only one that switched.
Yeah.
I got you. You guys. I was locked in.
He was ready to go.
I'm trying to catch up with y'all, man.
He's on point on that, though. There we go. Okay.
There we go. All right.
Did we already answer that one?
Yeah, we did. So I guess we all get a point for that.
Yeah. Give us all a point for that one, Nick.
All right.
I passed that one. Which first round draft pick refused to play for the Milwaukee Bucks? I'm gonna say Dr. J.
That's who I'm gonna go with. I'm with you on Dr. J.
I feel like Larry was selected outright. Kareem did play with Milwaukee, and Magic. Yeah, I'm gonna say the same.
Yeah, Dr. J. Yeah.
Because I said that's when they kind of converted.
Wow, they would have had a big three of Abdul-Jabbar, Robertson, and Dr. J.
He's wildin'. Yeah, that would have been the first big three.
Despite being drafted for the Hawks. Wow.
And he ended up playing for what, the Nets?
He went to play for the
Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's wild.
The Nets, I think, actually was in the was it the ABA?
ABA,
Yep.
yeah, they were in the ABA.
That's wild.
You should know your history, Michael.
That would have been a crazy trio, man. Wow.
I love Dr. J, boys.
Dwayne Casey.
Yeah,
I mean that's not even. I mean, we're not even gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was horrible. Still feel bad about that.
Right, who was the youngest player in NBA history to record 3 triple doubles?
Luka, I think.
Luka legend.
Yes, sir.
Well, how old is he? Is he just like 22 or 23 now?
Yeah, he's young.
20,
Yeah,
20,
he was 19, born in 2000. Jeez.
Wow.
Right.
Whatever.
Who's the only NBA player to retire with more career block shots than points scored?
I'm gonna assume Sean Bradley. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Manute Bol.
He hit a bunch of threes though, like especially later in his career.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
it was
go
Sean
with
Bradley.
Marison.
George Marison.
Yeah, he didn't play as long, and he wasn't a 3-point shooter, so I
I'm
can
gonna go
kind of
Bol.
see it happen. Yeah.
You gonna go Bol?
I'm with you, CJ.
All right, not George.
So it is Bol.
What about Sean Bradley? Okay.
Bradley made too many twos.
Oh man, Bradley played too long. I just felt like Manute made too many threes, but I was wrong.
We know.
6 3/4.
Oh man, you funny.
This has been a fun episode, boys.
Yes, it has.
Who was the first teenager in NBA history to score 20 points in 10 consecutive games?
I'm gonna assume LeBron.
Well,
LeBron?
Zion's not played in 10 consecutive games.
Sheesh.
Wow, Michael just both clips. Yeah, we're going LeBron.
He's ate 20 McNuggets for 10 straight
no.
days.
Whoa!
It certainly wasn't
It has to be
Kobe.
Luka. Yeah, it wasn't Kobe. It has to be Luka.
What? Oh, was
All right.
it? Was
So
it was
it's
Zion?
Michael,
No way.
Michael, you let us off, bro.
13
Wow.
consecutive games. 20
I guess it's consecutive that he played.
Again, I got the guy. The guy's
Because
Yeah,
they didn't
he
say the
played.
date there. They didn't say the date in which it was. So it's like it's been a 4-year process.
Which NBA coach appeared on Late Night with Dave Letterman as an 8th grader?
I have no
Mark
idea.
Jack. I'm gonna go
I'm gonna
Mark
go Mark
Jackson.
Jackson. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just feel like
He
I was
just
watching.
seems like a.
Did you guys see the NBA New York point guards?
I haven't seen it yet. I want
I
to.
need to. It's on Showtime, right?
Yeah, it's on Showtime. Yeah,
I gotta get a subscription or a trial or something.
yeah,
Or
makes
somebody's got like a password that they could.
pass.
Yeah, CJ, come on.
I mean, it's not really mine. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay. I just need the password. I don't care whose it is.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can hook you guys up, man. But yeah, if I'm not able to get that, make sure.
I had a Paramount for 30 days because they did a free trial, but it was someone in California. I don't even know who they were, but I got the password.
Sheesh. Yes, it was a great documentary though, for sure. Check that out.
I don't even know this one.
Was it Mark Jackson?
Kevin McHale?
Let's see if it's
Mark-
Wait, what? No, it was
Mo
Frank
Cheeks?
Vogel. It was Frank Vogel.
Seriously?
As an
It was
8th
Frank
grader?
Vogel. Yep, he was spinning the ball on his finger. Oh, on a toothbrush. Okay, my bad. Close enough.
Frank Vogel.
They showed it. I see it. That's when watching Laker games came in. They showed a clip of it on one of the Lakers.
Corbin, we need to see your phone.
You didn't see my phone?
Yeah.
I was on my Switch, but my phone's here too. My phone's here too. Here.
This is an easy one for me.
This is an easy one to wrap
There you
up the
go.
show. Which
There you go. That's what I'm on.
Okay.
which NBA player was nicknamed after a rifle, AK-47, Andre
Oh.
Kirilenko? Easy
Mhm.
answer. Played for the Utah Jazz.
That's still. I mean, even the implications are horrible. That nickname was so dope.
That was.
If
Yeah,
only
it
he was
was.
like a shooter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
And now what? Who's it? That's AK-15 or AR-15?
AR-15.
Oh, we don't. Yeah, but we don't even speak about Hillbilly Kobe right now with that. No, I'm playing. He's actually looking for a
Oh
new.
my god.
Austin Reeves. He's actually looking for a new nickname because he didn't like
Yeah.
Idols, obviously. But yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like again, it sounds. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, obviously, that we can't.
It's
provide
tough.
like that. Yeah.
That's a fact.
What was it? There was one that was crazy. What was it? Cream? Is that one of the nickname? It almost sounded a little dirty. Cream?
No clue, brother.
No clue, Michael. I'm sorry, bro.
I don't know
Where you
either.
going with that?
Because I was like, come on, it was something up with
It's
like,
NBA
He's screaming up
talking?
there. No, I don't know. I have no.
yes, I
not
can't
even
remember because I remember us talking about it for like a split second. I was like, that just sounds gross. That definitely cannot be his new nickname. But you know what? I can't remember, so we'll just leave it at that.
And you will definitely leave it at that.
Yeah.
That wraps up the show.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Corbin. He ended up getting the win. Michael came in second, and I think you and CJ were tied for the third.
Congratulations. So
So
technically
Michael-
for us, I'm 2-0 now, right? It's gonna
I don't know how you keep winning, bro.
I
We
mean,
need to see your phone, Michael.
Yeah.
I don't even have Wi-Fi up here right now. Okay, I seriously had to bootleg. Actually, I'm gonna tell you this. This is hilarious. I didn't know the password to get in on this desktop, and I'm like, and it pulled up and it said it's my name. I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to figure out what this person's password is? It's taped to the top right up here. It says computer login, and it's their name with the year. I'm like, glad we got a security password right here with your name on it. Yeah, we're live.
Good to go, man. Again, Corbin, man, let everybody know what you're working on and what you got possibly next up.
Hey, I appreciate it, y'all. Thank y'all for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
It's been like a really dope time. You can find me on Twitter at Corbin NBA. Currently, I have a podcast called Roundball Ramble, kind of workshopping that right now. We're a little bit of a hiatus, but also been fortunate to do the PHNX Mercury show. You can find that on Twitter at PHNX_Mercury. Just when we go live and such.
We're getting Aaliyah next.
Okay, I'm telling you, that should be a lot of fun over there. It should be a lot of fun. We'll have a show I do for the lead sports media called Let's Make Moves. Basically, NBA pod just from the transactional side of it. So that's fun. And then I'm trying to really step it up this year and make some real moves. So we'll see what's coming up. But again, y'all, on Twitter at Corbin NBA, and thank you again for the opportunity. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Man, the pleasure is ours, bro.
A little bit I've been here. It's been a blast, man. It's been fun. You are welcome to come on anytime you want to come.
For sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Nick, let the people know what you're doing, man. I heard some new articles out.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitter first and foremost at NickAndreATR. I got the new series Forgotten Players Part 2.5, which started this past Monday. The series continues tomorrow, featuring Xavier Henry. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to follow the Hoop Truthers podcast at Hoop Truther Pod, and follow us here at Count Bucket USN.
Sir Michael, what's up, man? We're working on, man.
You doing all right?
We're working on, man. What's up? Backstop banter. What else we doing?
We got Backstop Banter Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Just had a awesome episode 2 weeks ago, actually last week. Connie was on there too much talking, didn't like that. But had a guest that actually just got drafted by the New York Mets. A lot of blast. He actually came on for about 3 hours, and we just basically did what we did and cackled quite a bit. But check that out. Of course, it's on podcast. It's Backstop Banter on Twitter and everything else. We got a Facebook page as well. Follow us. Count the Bucket. Am I the only one? Oh, no. You guys are frozen. Is it me or – no, we're good now? Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, Count the Bucket, Facebook, I'm sorry, not Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Nick's going to put some more stuff on there of these clips on TikTok.
Hey, we just posted a video 2 days ago.
Yes, sir. So follow all that, of course, our podcast as well. And I'm pretty sure they're on like Spotify, Apple Pod, just about anything that you can think of. They are there. May not have it on tomorrow. Again, out of internet, maybe a couple of days before we get this episode on podcast. But you can find me personally, MD Lawson00, pretty much on any social media. And my link tree is in the bio.
Yes, you guys can find me on Linktree as well, linktree.com/CJames9. Find out everything that I'm working on. Garda podcast, my NBA podcast. Of course, Count the Bucket with my brothers right here. The Hard Count on Tuesdays.
Come on, man. I heard my NBA.
The Hard Count, covering all things NBA with Anthony Conover on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can find me there. And also Forever Patriots, covering all things Patriots, and then Knicks Boulevard also for all Knicks content as well. So thank you guys for staying with us for about almost 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. Catch you guys next week. Guys, have a good one.